Okay, before I forget, it is December something or other, Monday morning. Not bad, nice weather. Well, for this time of year, it's cool but not too cold, not too windy. But at any rate, we had a little bit of rain this morning, so it dried out some, cloudy. But I think it's time to really just pull all this stuff in. So I'm going to get my ladder, get up here, pull that down, get the rest of these down. I got all these big Virginia Huskies and stuff sitting there to take out. Already started picking some, and stuff on the ground all around. A lot of small ones. This year was really strange because it just took off right at the end and just wanted to pump out babies right and left. And which, if I was prepared for it and more tuned into it, I probably would have picked them and sold them because I could have got quite a bit of. I just never picked them before because I thought, well, it's just a few of them and not worth the time. But this year they just kept pumping, and so these are some of my failed experiments. I put a bottle on the end after I cut the fruit off to see if any of the loofah water would work its way down, but it didn't. So I got pretty much fruit everywhere, a lot of small stuff. Just gonna end up getting composted, I guess. And more big ones here. So once I get this done, I've already got a room full of them that I've got to get going and finish processing. But then I can proceed to clean up my fence line again for its winter phase where it doesn't have anything on it really. Kind of opens me to the whole world here, whereas middle of summer nobody can even see in my yard practically. So this is just the front yard. I'm going to make my way to the backyard, but really I'm getting kind of overloaded on the amount of space I have on my back porch to put all this stuff. The other years I put it in my barn way in the back there, but um, there's a space I can hang them and do that kind of thing with them, but squirrels will get to them, different things happen. I just would rather have them in the house where it's the biggest thing about the back porch is it's really just barely warmer than the outside. So it's still cold, but it's dry. It's like 10% humidity or something. And that's great because it just really gives these guys a nice little slow dry. If it was warmer, they would probably try to rot, but they don't. So that's my update for today for the luffa-loofa. So I got most of the front yard harvested of my loofah, and I was just coming through here. I just wanted to point out this was a loofah seed that had sprouted on its own over here. So I put a pipe on there just to kind of keep it from getting trampled, and it produced all these common loofah. As you can see, I got a construction project going on here, trying to get solar on the roof there, but it's been taking a while, and lost my power to the barn and the garage because they snagged the wire. So still waiting on that to get fixed. But at any rate, so I got a bunch of common loofah I'm going to add to the pile, and then I got to go back there and start working all those areas next. But my wagon be full. So my wagon's overflowing. I got to go empty it and then hit the backyard. And this is really the second wagon load from this front yard. So the front yard really did do good. I don't know if it's the soil, the facing. It doesn't get that much afternoon sun because the sun comes from this side over. So it gets morning sun, and then by the afternoon it doesn't really see much sun. But it sure is happy, and I don't have automatic watering out here or nothing, so it gets watered when I water it. And usually in the really peak heat I'll do that, but otherwise I don't really even do much. So I guess that's for the luffa-loofa. figuring out all these little things that need to be done. I love these little apple versions. So Virginia Huskies mostly, and a few apple. And I think I got most of the Louisiana heirloom already, but there might be some in that pile too. For the love of luffa. I was going to try to get all these into my back porch, but it's already so full. So I'm thinking instead, I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting and removing all these pots and open up all this wire racks I have for shelves right now. That way it'll give me some place to just kind of pile them up and let them dry out. Being inside this this greenhouse, it's dry and probably lower humidity, but not as low as it is on the back porch. But at any rate, so I'll see if I can make myself some room. I built this table thinking I wanted the room, but boy, it sure does take up a lot of space. And my successful one orange navel orange plant, it came out with about a dozen navel oranges, but they didn't survive. So I got one. I just had it the other day. It's delicious. So a few of these that have just kind of grown up and over. Some are common, I think. Some might be Virginia Huskies, and my gourds that I grew outside there. And so I'll just make this, I guess, into kind of a drying room for now. My money plant I rescued from a neighbor that threw it out, turned it into two plants, repotted one and took it back to the lady so she had it in her house. But it's winter, so they're done and over with. And so broccoli and whatever else I got growing over here. At any rate, so I'm going to attack this area so I can make some room for all these lufas I just harvested. Okay, my other half of the harvest, which is just about done. Actually, I've got another section I got to go through, but mostly Virginia Huskies and Louisiana heirlooms, I guess. Some apple thrown in here or there, or some just young Virginia Huskies and Louisiana heirlooms. These were some lufas that I grew in here right at the end of the season, and then a bunch of the apple style. But I was going to show, and all the stuff that grew in this garage really never got planted, just sitting here in trays. And so just roots and water. You know, occasionally I might have thrown some fertilizer in with it just for the heck of it, see what happened. But otherwise, it was just completely grown off of water out of the pan. They didn't do as well as the front yard and the soil, but they did grow. So it's a kind of a testament to the possibilities in a greenhouse setting. But yeah, so I've got one more section I have to go harvest. I've got this much or more in my back porch waiting to be processed. I'm going to let these sit out here a few days and just kind of get the skins to dry out a little bit more so that they're a lot easier to just peel. But yep, for the love of luffa. Well, here we are, topping off the season. So I picked a bunch of apple luffa back in there. I got some more. The only ones left are way up in that tree there because I'm gonna have to get a ladder and figure out something. My ladder's not even tall enough to get those off. They look like they were Virginia Huskies. Oh, I missed a couple. So I'm gonna cut those. But I think I got most everything here. Not very good quality, if you ask me, because they just, yeah, a few apples and things are not bad, but this backyard just doesn't turn out really good luffa. I guess I should just stick to the front yard, go back to growing food or something, but the problem back here is the deer come in and wipe out everything. So for the love of luffa, the final harvest.